We have all been chasing it, that elusive feeling called worth. For years, we have tried to earn it, to prove it, to grasp it in ways that left us exhausted and hollow. We have scrolled through pages of advice, repeated affirmations that never quite landed, and spent our energy hoping the next step would finally reveal what we couldn't see in ourselves. We have felt the weight of comparison pressing down on our hearts, the quiet shame that rises when we look at others and imagine they have something we don't. We have woken up tired, wondering why our accomplishments never seem to satisfy the longing in our chest. We have searched everywhere outside ourselves, looking for the key that would finally make us whole. And in that searching, we learned something quietly devastating. Worth is not a feeling that can be chased. It is not something that comes from doing more or being noticed. And yet, here we are still searching. But then there was a day so quiet it almost slipped past, when everything shifted. Not because the world changed, but because we remembered. We were reading a simple definition on a page. Self-worth is the belief in one's inherent value as a human being, independent of external factors, and we paused, our breath caught. The fog that had clouded our minds for years seemed to lift. It was not a feeling we had been chasing. It was a knowing we had never lost. It was the quiet, unshakable certainty that beneath every doubt, beneath every ache of inadequacy, our worth had always been present, carried within us like a divine spark. We felt it not in words, but in our bones. Not in theory, but in the tremor that runs from the crown of the head down through the spine. We felt it in the warmth of sunlight on our skin, in the gentle rhythm of our breath that reminds us we are alive. And in that moment, we realized something profound. We had never needed to earn our worth. We had never needed to prove it. It was ours, always, inherently, sacredly. We had spent years building a scaffolding around what was already complete. We had tried to manufacture love, to manufacture peace, forgetting that this essence was breathed into us the moment we came into being. It had been here all along, patiently waiting for us to stop searching and finally rest in the truth. Before we knew it, tears fell not from sadness, but from relief, from the trembling joy of remembering. We wept for the years of chasing and for the exhaustion of trying to earn what was never ours to earn. And we laughed softly too, because we could see how unnecessary the struggle had been. All along, we had carried everything we needed. All along, our worth was present, steady, unmovable. And now, finally, we could feel it, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a knowing that sits in the marrow, in the pulse, in the breath. In that knowing, we realize that worth is not confidence, though confidence can bloom from it. Worth is not what others say about us, nor how many doors open in our favor. Worth is the quiet pulse beneath everything, the sacred rhythm of being, the unspoken truth woven into our very existence. And when we live in this knowing, our lives begin to shift in subtle, profound ways. We move differently. We speak differently. We breathe differently. Decisions become less about proving ourselves and more about honoring ourselves. Boundaries are not barriers, but gentle expressions of sacred self-respect. Every ordinary action, the way we pour our morning coffee, the way we fold our clothes, the way we smile at a friend, becomes infused with the quiet power of inherent worth. And we notice something remarkable. When we live from this knowing, the world responds differently. Not because we have changed the world, but because we have aligned with the rhythm of our own being. We do not have to strive to be noticed, to be loved, to be validated. We already are. The knowing itself carries us. The knowing itself is our home. Before this realization, we spent years believing that feeling worthy was something external. We measured ourselves against impossible standards and climbed mountains of expectation, only to find more mountains awaiting us. We chased fleeting feelings and we exhausted ourselves. But now we see, worth is not a feeling at all. It is a knowing that is always present, that never diminishes, that never fades. It does not come and go. It simply is. And as we deepen into this knowing, life itself becomes a teacher. The rhythm of our days, the simplicity of routine, the quiet moments of stillness all become infused with sacred significance. We notice the sunlight falling through the window, the cool touch of air on our skin. Each moment is a reminder we are worthy. Each heartbeat is an affirmation we are held. Each quiet smile in the mirror is proof we have always been enough. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. Let the knowing fill the spaces that fear once occupied. Let it cradle you, reminding you that nothing you do can add to your worth, and nothing you do can diminish it. You are complete, whole, inherently valuable. And in this recognition, there is freedom. Freedom from the chase, from the proving, from the endless striving. Freedom to rest, to breathe, to simply be. And as we rest in this knowing, our lives begin to flow differently. Choices become softer and truer. We no longer bend ourselves to fit into what we think others want or expect. We honor our own rhythms, our desires, our intuition. We no longer apologize for our presence, our joy, our sacredness. We move through the world lightly and fully. We also begin to recognize the collective truth. We are not alone in this. The longing to feel worthy is shared across all hearts. We see it in our friends and strangers we pass on the street. And when we remember our own worth, we ripple that knowing outward. When we stop striving and rest in the inherent value within us, we become a quiet lighthouse for others. We invite them to remember too. We become a testament that worth has never been earned, it has never been lost. It has always been present, waiting to be known. So let's breathe, slowly, gently, deeply, feeling the pulse of life within us, feeling the certainty of our value, feeling the quiet power of the knowing that has always existed. It does not shout. It does not demand. It simply is. Steady, radiant, sacred, always enough. Always complete. Always home. We can reflect on the days of searching and see them not as wasted, but as preparation. Preparation for the moment we could finally recognize the truth that was there all along. Every restless night, every tear, every moment of self-doubt was part of the unfolding, part of the path that led us back to this quiet, uncheckable knowing. And now, having returned, we see that our worth is not fragile. It does not waver with circumstance. It does not need permission. It exists in every breath, in every heartbeat, in every step we take. In living from this knowing, we embody a new rhythm. We rise in the morning not to achieve or to prove, but to honor. We move through our days with a lightness that comes from recognizing the sacredness within. We are enough, always, no conditions. No timelines, no external proof required. Pause once more, breathing, feeling, recognizing, remembering. And in this pause, in this stillness, we know what it means to carry worth. Not as a fleeting emotion, but as a living, breathing presence within us. The knowing that has always existed, that will always exist, that connects us to life itself. Having returned to this knowing, we can now invite others into this space of remembrance. We can share the gentle reminder that worth is inherent, uncheckable, and sacred. I invite you to write it down, speak it aloud, breathe it into your heart. I am worthy. I have always been worthy. Nothing can take this away. If this resonated with you, please subscribe and join our community. You can return to this sacred space again and again to remind yourself daily, gently, softly, yet with piercing certainty. You are inherently valuable. You have always been enough. You have always carried the knowing. And now, you can live in it, radiate it, and breathe it. Thank you for being here.